The man they call the Professor.
Here comes the Professor.
And the Professor, Brent Fikowski.
Brent Fikowski with now 2 more reps to go. Event win for Brent Fikowski to close out day 2. Class dismissed.
If you have followed the CrossFit Games for a while, you have probably heard Brent Fikowski be referred to as the Professor a number of times. Every time this nickname gets brought up, people say he's called the Professor because of his meticulous training for and competing at the CrossFit Games. But what does he do that this nickname sticks with him so strongly? Well, for one, he is meticulous. He has even gone as far as breaking down the way he approaches a barbell, gets in and out of a rower or on and off a bike, and does it the same way every single time. He writes split times on his arms so that he knows what his goal pacing for that event is. And when he does a wall walk, he puts his arms out to the side after each rep, and every single rep is exactly 3 steps. He does this unusual double stroke on the ski erg, and of course, he does this big exaggerated arm swing on wall balls that helps blood get back into his arms and lets them relax for a moment. These are just the little things, the meticulous attention to the small details. And not only does Fikowski do these little things, but there are a number of things that he does so far out of the box that he's actually the only competitor at the games doing them. Extremely intelligent things that truly make him worthy of the nickname the Professor. Fikowski had earned the name The Professor before he even stepped foot onto the floor at the CrossFit Games. In fact, some of his training partners at his first affiliate gave him the name for the way he approached workouts. And in his first appearance at the CrossFit Games, he showed why he deserved the name. The 7th event of the 2016 CrossFit Games was Double DT. At this point in the weekend, a rookie Brent Fikowski was already sitting in 9th place, putting him in the final heat with the best of the best in this workout. Double DT is a workout that includes 270 reps, and Fikowski, being the tallest man in the field, was at a huge disadvantage going into it. And with 120 deadlifts at 155 pounds in front of him, he decided to do them as singles. Yes, singles. A CrossFit Games athlete doing singles on deadlifts at 155 pounds. 120, and he dropped the bar at the top of every single one. There are a few pros and cons to doing it this way. The first pro is that you don't have to do any work on the way down. This completely takes away the eccentric portion of 120 deadlifts, which in a workout like this can really save your hamstrings, glutes, low back, and grip. The second pro is kind of counterintuitive, but it is that it actually slows you down, which will help with pacing. But this can also be one of the cons. Holding onto the barbell for those deadlifts really isn't that costly in terms of overall effort, but it is much faster. Another one of the cons is that while it does take away the eccentric portion of the lift, it means you have to re-engage on every single deadlift, which in my experience can blow your back up more than just doing them in large sets. On top of this, because the bar was bouncing when he dropped it, he had to do a little sidestep every time to get back over the middle of the bar. This strategy put him behind from the very beginning of the workout because no one else was doing these as singles and they all pulled ahead of him. But the Professor stuck to his game plan, as Fikowski slowly tracked down a number of guys in this heat on the last 2 rounds and actually took a 10th place finish on this event. The only guy in the field to do these deadlifts as singles, and yet this bold strategy seemingly paid off for him. Maybe everyone else could have learned something from the Professor. But this was just a pacing strategy. There are a few whole entire movements that Fikowski does differently, and one of those is a rope climb. There are 2 main ways to use your feet when you climb a rope. There is the J hook, which looks like this. This is the most commonly used one. And then there's the heel hook, which looks like this. This one gained most of its popularity because it is the one the 4-time CrossFit Games champion Rich Froning used. Each one of these have their own specific advantages and disadvantages. For the J hook, there are 2 major advantages. The first is how fast you can get the clamp, and the second is because it is out in front of you, you can get a bigger pull and almost get your feet all the way up to your hands if you wanted, almost like a Tota bar. The major disadvantage to this clamp is that it can be hard to use to slide down the rope quickly, which is where the heel hook comes in. The major advantage to the heel hook is how it puts you in perfect position to be able to easily slide down the rope. This was really shown off by Rich Froning being one of the first athletes to really be able to seamlessly slide down the rope very quickly. But the disadvantage to this clamp is that you can't quite get as large of a pull. Between these two, most athletes choose to do the J hook, although some notable athletes like Patrick Vellner do use a heel hook. But Fikowski, on the other hand, does it his own way. Fikowski always starts his rope climbs with a J hook, and then on the last pull, he quickly switches to a heel hook. This way he gets the advantage of the larger, faster pulls of the J hook and the advantage of the quicker descent from the heel hook. Another thing about this is that most of the time during the year, the ropes only go up to 15 feet, so the descent is not as important because guys can just jump off the rope. However, the ropes at the CrossFit Games often go to 18 feet, which makes the descent a crucial part of the movement. Honestly, after realizing he did this, it made me really wonder why on earth no one else is doing this at the games, and also why I'd never thought of it myself. It's genius, and this alone might make him worthy of the name The Professor. But again, this isn't the only time Fikowski has had his own twist on a movement. At the 2022 CrossFit Games, we finally saw the introduction of the parallel bars into the CrossFit Games for the first time. Elizabeth Elevated is a workout that is a twist on the classic CrossFit benchmark workout Elizabeth. This workout included parallel bar traverses with dips on the end of each traverse. While parallel bars were making their first appearance at the games, they had long been a part of CrossFit, making appearances in the CrossFit Journal starting in the very early 2000s, and it seems the professor had been doing his homework. The standard on the dips was that your shoulder had to go below your elbow and your arms had to be locked out at the top. How you got from A to B was up to you. Most of the athletes chose to go with this traditional kip on the dip that we were used to seeing, but Fikowski had a different idea. Instead of using this traditional up and down kip, he did this. Another example of Fikowski doing something different from all his competitors. But again, this one might have some advantages and disadvantages. The first thing he gains from doing the dips this way is that it uses more momentum from his body to accomplish each rep, making an easier press each time. The second thing he gains is that because of the way he's pressing on the backswing, it actually turns this more into a push-up motion rather than a vertical dip. And finally, and possibly most important in this exact scenario, is that because each set of dips has to be unbroken and include a traverse before it, this bigger kip that takes less pressing strength might have given him some extra confidence to get back up on the bars earlier than if he was using a regular kip. Now, on the other side of these good things, it does have a few negatives. Obviously, each rep is slower, so he lost time there. And on top of it, because each rep is slower, it's just a lot more time holding himself on top of the parallettes, accumulating much more time under tension. In the end, we have no idea whether this helped Fikowski or not. He finished 22nd in this workout, which for someone of this caliber is not a great placing. However, he beat some notable people in this workout, including Jeffrey Adler, Dallin Pepper, and Jason Hopper, and who knows how he would have done had he chosen to use the normal kip. The 11th event at the 2021 CrossFit Games was an 11-minute AMRAP of 1 pegboard, 7 single-arm overhead squats, and 15 heavy double unders. In this workout, Fikowski did one of the weirdest things I've ever seen at the CrossFit Games. During this workout, Fikowski was doing his heavy double unders upside down. He has palms facing downwards and the rope on the outside of his hands. Now, at first, I thought this might be one of those weird things where it's just easier for him to do it this way. I mean, we have seen some examples of this in the past, like the 5-time CrossFit Games athlete Josh Bridges, who preferred to do his double unders backwards before they changed the rule to disallow it. But with Fikowski, it's not just a simple preference. It's a deliberate skill that he has spent time practicing and preparing to use. The workout parallel bar pull from the 2023 CrossFit Games again included a heavy double under. Now, luckily on this workout, Fikowski was in the lead, so we got to watch him for most of the workout. Again, he used this grip on the heavy double unders, and in fact, he actually alternated between that and the traditional grip on every other round. Clearly, this is something Fikowski has practiced with some intention. I'm sure this is all in an attempt to help save his grip, because these different ways of doing it are going to use slightly different muscles and give the others a break. But it is so cool to see someone doing something in a way that no one else is. Fikowski was ready if heavy double unders showed up. He has clearly spent many hours practicing this one very specific skill just in case there was a chance he might have to use it. And it looks like it paid off too, because he took a first place finish in this parallel bar pull workout in 2023. Brent Fikowski didn't just earn his nickname The Professor back at his first affiliate, but he continues to earn it year in and year out by having a unique and strategic approach to the way he competes at the CrossFit Games. This type of analytical preparation and revolutionary thinking is true to his nickname, The Professor. Have you noticed anything else he's done differently? If so, let me know in the comments below, and thank you for watching.